Look and have your attention, please. Good morning. At this point, I invite Chief Cooley, who's going to share a few words for us about Mr. Cookson.
Thank you. Cookson, Frederick Ernest. This was Fred's standard reply to any stranger who gathered the nerve to ask who he was. It didn't happen very often. Everybody knew who Pop was, and for very good reason. A soft-spoken man, one usually a loss for words. Not really. He would tell you what he thought if you asked, but moreover, if you didn't. A quahogger, a firefighter, a carpenter, a mechanic's helper. A strong husband to you, Ruthie. A protective father to you, Vicky, or Bridget, we call you. A hero to you, Gary. And Jessica, he was so very proud of you. We knew that you, Popeye, was everything. Mostly, Fred, Pop as we all knew him, was such a great friend to us all. He never forgot the guys from the shore hanging around punking through Shannon, with the likes of Art, Howard Drew, Donnie Merrill, Harry Northrop, Robbie Stewart, Captain Ron, and the rest. At the fire station, more of us remember Pop as one of the paid guys, teamed up with Arthur Punkin Drew. Oh, what a pair. Volunteers, many of us in the chapel here today, didn't even realize at the time what was happening to us by hanging around at that fire station. You see, Popeye would always entrust us with just a little bit more responsibility than we actually deserved. His laid-back demeanor made us think he wasn't watching or that he didn't really care. Think again. As the years passed and we all moved on from high school into the reality of the working world, and our lives began to take shape, it was then that Popeye's hand became evident. As each of us found achievement, his influence on us blossomed and Pop took pride. It didn't matter if we went on to become firefighters, chefs, quahogers, lawyers, doctors, or carpenters. He supported us all in whatever path we chose and was clearly a big part of our success. Many of us sat at the round table in Ruthie's kitchen, discussing whatever life had dealt us at the time. No matter what the issue, it usually ended up in Ruthie's kitchen. Late at night, very late at night. After retirement, Pop and Ruth traded the East Grimmage shore for the beautiful Gulf Coast of Florida. It was an idyllic setting for Popeye's stride to slow to a canter, and his memory followed. As Popeye's clarity waned, Ruth stepped up on his behalf. The strong, loving woman that she is, she filled in for his every lapse. Sweetheart since their teens, she would see through this all. She loved him so very much, in every sense of the word. Support, adoration, hard times, poor times, fishing times. Ruthie, after 62 years of marriage, I think we can all agree, you had a keeper in Pop. And we know he had a keeper in you. Pop and Ruth, two of the greatest people in our generation. As Pop began to say less and less over the past few months, there was one thing he said more and more and more. I want to go home. And weeks later, home. He actually made an attempt at it a couple of months ago. Bear in mind that at the time, Pop had not driven a car in years. He would struggle simply to open the door. Yet early one morning, he slipped out of his house, not arousing Ruth, grabbed his razor, found the keys to the car, unlocked the doors, and off he went. The kind sheriff returned him. They spotted him about 5 miles away, driving 5 miles an hour in a 45-mile-an-hour zone. Many who learned of the great escape were shocked. All of his buddies back here celebrated. That's Pop. There is one question in the minds of certainly everyone in this room. how will we ever fill such a void? In truth, we won't. Ruthie, your loss is immense. Those seated around you today share your grief. We offer you our love and support. You will need them both in the days to come. With the loss of a man, his legacy is born. Popeye's legacy sits before us today. In you, Vicky, in you, Gary, in you, Jessica. Your father and grandfather was a giant of a man. Know this, as we all do. Fred, may the Lord accept you into the heavens, for you certainly have earned the passage. And Popeye, welcome home.
Please be aware that at this time the honor guard will fire a volley of shots, which will be followed by taps. On behalf of Mr. Cookson's wife and children, we wish to thank relatives and friends for kindness and sympathy shown them during their loss. We especially to thank Chief Cooley for his words. An invitation has been extended to all to return to the Cookson Inn in West Warwick. This concludes the funeral. Relatives and friends are at liberty to take leave.